Let's check this video, the German spending gamble. Let's check that out.
Austerity was the truth, the belief for many years.
Germany has the wrong business model.
The infrastructure of the country is crumbling.
Die Gänge, in denen sich die Kinder bewegen müssen, sind wie eine Baustelle, wie ein Bergwerk.
Bits and pieces from the roof started falling down, and it was deemed unsafe for the kids to learn here. So many schools need to
I heard in the news there's a school that's like unsafe. They had to put like beams up.
be renovated.
Und das nicht nur für ihre Gesundheit.
Every day the trains are delayed.
Yeah, Lisa was talking to a friend of hers from the UK today. And that female friend said, the moment she arrived in Germany for vacation, she was so shocked how shitty the trains are. Like in the UK, apparently, and I felt that too, trains are very good. They arrive on time. And in Germany, it's just the ultimate biggest joke.
And when I make it on time, I want a lot of.
Yeah.
It's not just shame, it's just like it's annoying.
Our bridges are falling apart, true, in Dresden. Our trains don't work.
Like you want to have a country that works.
The debt brake reform is a very seismic shift.
500 billion euros to modernize the country's aging infrastructure.
There are no debt brake constraints on defense at all anymore. This push into defense, some economists see it as a big opportunity for car makers.
Making Germany's economy strong in the way that they're now imagining, making Germany's defense strong in the way that they're now planning, is a necessary condition not just for the revitalization of Germany, but for the revitalization of Europe.
Merz doesn't have a choice. He has to succeed. Friedrich Merz, the leader of the Christian Democrats and now the Chancellor, created an ad hoc fund of 500 billion euros over 12 years to modernize and renovate the country's aging infrastructure, roads, hospitals,
Do you think the new government of Germany is better? I think you can't say that yet. I don't really have seen anything real from the government yet. He's good in foreign. I like he's pro-Ukraine. He handled Trump well, but I haven't seen much. Not any real facts.
The second serious change is the government has now the legal leeway to spend as much as it wants on defense. And there are no debt brake constraints on defense at all anymore.
Deutschland ist zurück. Deutschland leistet.
And I have a big issue with that. Germany is back. Germany is back is something that has to be earned through hard work over many years. You can't just be voted into office and be like, Germany's back. It's back. It's back.
Seinen großen Beitrag zur Verteidigung der Freiheit und des Friedens in Europa. Wir belassen es bei den 500 Milliarden an Kreditermächtigung für ein solches Sondervermögen.
The basic idea is to invest more, to launch more public investment, because the public investment at this point in Germany is under supply. And that's why the government decided to change the constitution. The hope is that with the relaxation of the debt brake, Germany will be able to launch more infrastructure spending and therefore stimulate the economy.
It's a big gamble in the sense that it's a massive amount of money.
So try and understand what the debt brake is. One has to go back into the ideology of post-war Germany. Economic policies were designed to achieve stability, which is a thing that they didn't have in the interwar period and in their view led to Hitler. This explains the monetary stability fetish, creation of the Bundesbank as an independent central bank, but they also...
I just saw a YouTube short the other day about the grandniece of Hermann Göring, a woman called whatever Göring, and she and her husband, I think, yeah, the husband too, they got sterilized. They sterilized themselves because they said there should never be any more Görings born on Earth. Now that was a bit like, damn, Jesus.
Are very concerned that bad fiscal policy, excessive debts and deficits will also destabilize the economy and possibly lead to inflation.
Kind of retarded?
The debt brake was established in 2009. We're in the middle of the financial crisis. Germany has to spend a lot of money to counter the crisis. They want to finally put a lid on debt and say, you know, now we're for once going to take on lots of debt, but we're never going to do it again. So we put this rule into the constitution.
The debt brake capped borrowing to 0.35% of GDP every year. The federal states had no ability to take on any debt.
Everything got back into this very conservative mindset of absolute fiscal and monetary stability.
Merz, in quite an audacious step, decided to change the constitution using the old parliament.
One thing I never understand, it will never go to my head, I might be too dumb for that. You are the third richest country in the world. You make so much money every year, and it's not enough. It's not enough. I know it's a very complex topic. It mostly has to do with social spending. If you check the spending of the USA, Germany, etc., billions and billions are going into social spending, into pension funds, etc. Nice IKEA glass.
Between the election and the formation of the new one, there was a kind of time window of several weeks, and they rushed the change of the constitution through.
In Germany, you need a 2/3 majority to change the constitution, and we needed to reform our debt break. We saw the difficulties our country is in with almost... That's the leader of the Green Party. I did not know that. What? Really? I mean, I vote for the Greens. She is the leader. I did not know that. Franziska Bratner. Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Rotten infrastructure. And we wanted to be part of solving that problem and making it possible to pass that bill.
Germany has woken up to the fact that it has significant defense obligations and burdens because Russia is clearly seen as a threat and the United States is no longer seen as a reliable ally. The infrastructure of the country is crumbling.
Germany has the wrong business model. It is over-reliant on exports at a time when globalization is falling apart. You know, nationalism is on the rise. Protectionism is on the rise. And its core industries, the heavy manufacturing industries, are under attack by Chinese manufacturers.
Germany bounced back after the pandemic, but since this bouncing back...
Wow, Alter, everyone bounced back hard, but Germany didn't.
In 22, the economy has basically been flatlining.
The economy is struggling with decarbonization, making it harder to have electricity at a competitive cost. And now the global trade wars are really impacting the German economy, and especially car manufacturing is just not what it was before. And that is really the big driver for a lot of things.
Germany outsourced its energy supplies to Russia, consumption to China, and security to the US. And all of these three factors have now come under threat. The German model has failed or has to be reworked.
That makes complete sense. Germany has to rethink itself. I've been thinking for years now. And is rethinking ourselves still massively investing in our car industry? I woke up this morning and I checked the news. And look at the German news. Look at the German news. Porsche has lost 91% of its earnings. And there was another news, which is already gone. Massive downfall in VW. I saw that in the news, but yeah, VW is dying. But they said downfall today. This morning I read VW is going down, but they're doing... This looks okay. But the entire... As a German, every morning, in the news are like, our car industry is slowly fucking dying. Do you drive a German car? Yeah, but I don't care too much about what I drive.
After the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Maybe if your entire... Dude, I'm gonna sound like a green cunt here, but if your entire economy is based on fucking cars, but we live in the world where Chinese people can build their own cars, and cars aren't really, especially petroleum cars are not really like up to date with climate change anymore, then maybe your industry has to rethink itself.
German defense policy...
And maybe I feel like, and I'm just yapping like an idiot, maybe as you are in a period of rethinking yourself, yeah, your economy is not going to grow for a while.
Completely changed focus. For many years, the political idea was, oh, we don't need a force that is able to defend our territory. We only need a force which kind of does overseas operations like in Afghanistan. Conscription was abolished. The army was really shrunken quite significantly.
Germany has really relied on the US and NATO for its defense and its security, and didn't really think of its army as a real army because of its fraught past, history, its central role in the Second World War, the Nazi regime.
It really took the Russian in full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
Again, are we lucky that Ukraine is holding? Imagine Russia took Ukraine in 3 days. How fucking panicked Europe will be. Oh God, we have to invest. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. We're so lucky that they're holding out, man.
to change that
Imagine
political
a world where the 3 days would have been enough.
It's an honor to have you.
What a
I know the
scary thing that would
Chancellor just won a great election, very, very strong election.
The loss of the US as the pillar of European security demands that Europe responds, otherwise it fragments.
Honestly though, this is where I get the USA and Trump. I kind of understand that. If I was an American, I might agree a bit with why do we have to defend everyone? I kind of agree with that. I get that point. Still, I believe it's kind of healthy and cool to work together with your allies, with Canada and Europe. Don't need to fuck each other over that. But I get the point.
Then,
everybody should do their part.
For Germany, that's a catastrophe. And whenever you think about the history of Germany, you have to look at the map. Why did they get involved in all these terrible wars? Because they're right in the middle. They're surrounded by neighbors.
There's protests against Zelensky. I saw on the radio they wanted a new law, and now Zelensky did that law, something with corruption.
The first time in their history, their neighbors are all friendly. They're bound to them by the EU treaty. They have to protect this because it's about protecting
As an American,
themselves.
I think we should help Europe, but Europe must take bigger role in defense. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It just seems logical. Still, I believe you don't have to be Donald Trump that shits on all his fucking partnerships and destroys this multilateral alliance.
And they're the biggest economy. So they have to take these actions. They have to be a leader.
That requires a lot of spending because Germany didn't have any helicopters that could fly and any jets that could fly, or very few of them.
Find a woman, my dude.
Some of the bridges could not sustain tanks. Infrastructure needs to be modernized to sustain the defense ramp up.
The immediate positive spillovers on economic growth from simple defense investment is relatively limited. This push into defense, some economists see it as a big opportunity for car makers, which are facing this structural shift.
Lots of suppliers for the car industry can actually also work for the defense industry. Will it be enough to bring about the economic miracle? I'm not convinced.
Defense spending is not always investment and goes often into consumption or into salaries. So there's a balance to be struck between investment purposes of defense that stimulates the economy and the running of the army.
If defense spending doesn't occur, Germany will remain weak. The Americans will look at this and they will say, you're not committing anything to NATO. We're going to really wash our hands of you and of all your allies.
Also, it's
and that
always
means of
very,
NATO.
very impressive how Vladimir Putin is the reason for all of this, right? Tyrants like Hitler have such impact on the world. Imagine Russia wasn't this aggressive. You wouldn't talk right now about 5% spending. You could spend this stuff on other stuff. But this one single man, right? What he did out of Russia is forcing all of us...
And that will be terrible for Germany. The Russians will look at them and say Europe is weak.
Like that.
It's not prepared to defend itself. It's not prepared to build up its economy. We can poke more and more here. Potentially, this could even lead to a situation in which the EU starts breaking up because countries will start saying, well, actually, it would make better sense for us to do a deal with Russia. They have to find a way of building up the defense capacity of the country, so they have to spend money. There's no alternative.
Imagine what Putin is
The
doing
Merkel.
as well. I read some news that the Russian economy is getting more and more fucked. I don't know though. I only read the headlines, but I hear things that the Russian economy is having some crazy issues, man.
Years of government were years of underinvestment in our infrastructure. That has led to our substance of our country deteriorating year by year.
Germany's train system is very dysfunctional. Trains do not run on
You wouldn't fucking believe it, chat. You wouldn't fucking believe it.
time, most of the time. And it's really due to a lack of investment. Also lack of personnel.
It's unbelievable.
Demand for trains and for train travel has risen due to climate change,
Pretty much every single train ride will have an issue.
and people
If they're
deliberately
long rides.
not wanting to use domestic flights. If it's so unreliable, people go back to driving or using the plane. So
Frankfurt,
people are
yeah.
very
That's
frustrated about
Frankfurt.
that, obviously.
My name is Laura, and I'm working in Frankfurt. So I bring my daughter every day here to school, and then I have to take the train and go all the way to Frankfurt to my job.
It's not easy when I'm coming back and I have to pick her up. Every day, actually, the trains are delayed, and I always need a backup plan, so in case I don't make it. I have to call people and say, please,
can you pick her up? When I make it on time, I won the lotto. We start making fun about it, like when you talk about somebody that is not on time or is always late, you say it's like the German train.
We do feel what Laura is going through. This is something we are facing for the last years. It's not only that our infrastructure is too old, but also too congested.
Sometimes the trains just stop, so it can be 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Yeah, they just stop and they're like, hello everyone, I'm sorry, there's a bush burning in front of us. There's a bush burning. We're going to be delayed by about 2 hours.
It's frustrating.
All the time.
Unser nächster Fahrplanmäßigkeit ist dann unser Ziel und ein Backhof Frankfurt. Wir wünschen eine angenehme Reise.
So the good news for Laura is
Okay,
that we have been able to stop the aging process of our infrastructure that caused so much problems with the delay, with unpunctuality of our trains. We invested a record number of 19 billion euros last year in 2024 into the renovation of our infrastructure. If we continue doing so, it will be better.
I don't understand.
It won't be better.
You need to rebuild that. Why does the government have to build that? The government privatized the Deutsche Bahn. You're a private company. It's your fucking job.
Overnight, but it will be better in a couple of years.
So now it's like 2:35 and I have to leave work a little bit earlier because I just saw in the app that the train that I would like to take at 3:19, it's cancelled. I will be later than I should be
Let's finish the train
at
section,
home
then I
and
need to
pick
call
up my daughter from school. It's every day the same thing.
This lacking infrastructure goes against the German identity of efficiency, of punctuality. Look, if a train goes from Germany to Switzerland, the Swiss train system, they usually stop the German train at the border because the German train arrives late. And they don't let the German trains in anymore, spoiling the Swiss punctuality. So this tells a lot about the problem.
We have 1/3 of trains that is delayed in the long distance network.
Wake up right now. Our trains don't work, our cars don't sell, our military shit. What does Germany have left?
Means that still 2/3 are punctual, yeah, which is not.
Deutsche Bahn is owned by the state. That's what I meant. Sorry, that's what I meant. That it's owned by the state. The other thing, not that it's privatized. Sorry, but the government in Germany doesn't involve itself with the Deutsche Bahn.
That bad, but clearly not sufficient and not what the public expects from the railways.
Punctuality statistics are pretty bad and have gone worse in recent years. That's despite the fact that only trains that run more than 6 minutes late are actually counted as late. And all those many trains which get cancelled don't enter these numbers at all.
There is a shortage of train drivers, there is a shortage of people who are manning the signal boxes, there is a shortage of the people who have to approve construction.
And then again, you want me to take away you want me to stop driving my car to save the environment? I can't take your fucking trains though.
Right now we have construction work that has completed,
my shitty car and put CO2 in the air.
The railway lane cannot be reopened because those scarce people.
The refugee slow trains. The refugees are important. There was a documentary some months ago in Germany that a lot of these Syrians and Afghani people, some of them, not all of them, are becoming train drivers now or work in this business.
Are not available. And Deutsche Bahn forgot for years to train them, and all these management failures are now adding to the other problems that the infrastructure has.
The renovation of infrastructure in Germany is not going to happen overnight. There are a lot of bureaucratic hurdles. And there's also perhaps a question of capacity.
There are no, to my mind, financial or economic constraints on what they could do, but I'm sure there are constraints on their actual ability to spend this well. Germany actually couldn't do this investment.
Thank you, Paula, for the tier 3 ban.
Program
thank you, buddy. Thank
tomorrow,
you,
because these industries have been so shrunken for so long.
Money is not everything. So there are loads of problems, including labor shortage. There are not that many construction companies that could be mobilized, and so prices could go up.
Okay, I have to call it here. Hope starting.
She slipped through my fingers like sand. Heard that she had a man. Now I'm just sitting here sad. Oh well, ship sail. She slipped through my fingers like sand.